So, Prabhuji Mataji, today we will make an effort to discuss Shri Radha Tatva. Even though we are not qualified, we are all entangled into so many materialistic desires, so many anarthas, but still the only way is to make an effort and to make an honest effort and get the blessing of senior Vaishnavas and fellow devotees. So Prabhuji Mataji, please bless me, and I sincerely want to seek your blessings. Thank you for your association. So we will make this endeavor to develop some understanding and go through as per Shastric evidence, as per what is discussed and spoken by our acharyas. Let's sing Jai Radha Madhav first, and then we will do some discussion. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jayo Radha Parthati Radha Parthati Shri Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Shri Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीला गुरुदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Maharaj. A very happy Radhastami to all of you. So, like I was saying, Prabhuji Mataji, we are not qualified to speak or to discuss Shri Radha Tatva, but we will make an endeavor with the blessing of Guru Parampara, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. So, let's just recite this prayer. Let me share my screen with you. This is, we all sing this prayer when we're doing Mangalacharan. So this is by Srila Rupa Goswami in Shri Prarthana Paddhati Stav Mala. So Stav means glorification, as in like Stuti, when you're glorifying someone. So Stav Mala as in, it's a garland of Stuti, garland of verses which is written to glorify Srimati Radharani. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। O Srimati Radharani, I offer my respects to you, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold. O Goddess, you are the Queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and are very dear to Lord Krishna. Yeah. So we often sing this prayer, but we really need to meditate on this verse, or while we recite these prayers. It is said that the words Nam Akshar Nam Nai. Yeah. The word doesn't mean its actual name, so it's how we realize it, and with what mood we are singing and chanting. So Srimati Radharani or Radha Ji, so it is said that Rupa Goswami is saying is Tapta Kanchan. Yeah. So like the molten gold. Yeah. Kanchan is in gold, molten gold. Gaurangi. Yeah. Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrinda is Vrindavan and Ishwari is, who is the, you can say, the goddess. Goddess, or she controls. Ishwar means control or the supreme. So she is the supreme in Vrindavan. Yeah? And Vrishabhanu Sute Devi. She is the daughter of Vrishabhanu. Yeah? And Pranamami, I pay my obeisances to you because you are Hari Priye. Yeah? You are most dear to Lord Hari. Yeah? So it said that she is the Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Krishna Das Kavira says that Krishna Kanta Shiromani. She is the topmost. Yeah? And Krishna Kanta. Krishna Kanta is in lover. So the lovers of Krishna, so she is the topmost. So we pay our obeisances to her. Yeah? So it's very important, Prabhuji Mataji, when we are discussing about Srimati Radharani, and very often there are so many questions people ask People ask like why Krishna is with Srimati Radharani when Krishna is married to Rukmani ji. Yeah, Radha ji was already married. So all these mundane questions people ask, but the point is they are seeing from the material senses. Yeah? They are looking at it from a material point of view, like we have bodily relations. So they look at it from those perspectives. But it is not so, as also Krishnadas Kaviraj says that Shri Chaitanya Leela Gambhir, yeah, Koti Samudra. Yeah, Koti Samudra Haite. So it is so deep, as in like crores of oceans. So there is no way that we can understand that. And that too we cannot understand with our material vision. Yeah. So all we need is, we need blessings. We need help from a Mahabhagavat. And Srila Prabhupada says that in his purport to another words written by Krishnadas Kaviraj, where Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Shri Radha Krishna Ek Atma, Dui Dehdhari. Yeah? Shri Krishna and Radha, they are one soul. Dui Dehdhari. Yeah? Anyone Vilas Ras, yeah? Aswadan Kari. Yeah? So Srila Prabhupada in the purport says that Shri Radha and Krishna, these are two transcendent personalities, and which remains a puzzle for the materialists. Yeah. So materialist, if we are once again looking at it from a material point of view, there is no way we can understand it. Yeah. Two and one. But Sri Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has that our philosophy, achintya bhed abhed. Yeah. There is difference, but still there is oneness in that. But very important that Prabhupada says in the purport that only through the help of a Mahabhagavat we can understand this, otherwise we cannot understand that. So we need the mercy or the blessing of Mahabhagavat. Yeah. So let's sing Manglacharan and then we will continue our conversation. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Savadhetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuter Mahadbhir Yayima Puro Vibho Nirmayashete Yadamusha Purusha Bhunte Gunansho Dashatmakam Solanka Srishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharnagatam Katha Amritam Satat Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvalok Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam Sarvalok Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji Mataji, before we understand or before we discuss Shri Radha Tatva, we should also be aware of Krishna Tatva. Because Shri Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, nahi ante. And as Krishna's Kavira says, that Shri Radha Krishna Ek Atma Dui Deha. So let's understand where is that connection. So first let's discuss about Krishna Tattva little bit and then we will move forward. So speaking from the Shastras, in the Vedas there is a question asked that Kah Paramo Deva, who is the supreme Dev, who is the supreme Lord? And the answer given in the once again in the Vedas is that Krishna Havai Paramam Devata. That Krishna is the Paramam Devata. Krishna is the supreme Lord. Okay. Then Lord Krishna himself also says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Okay. So I am the source of everything. Everything emanates from me. Yeah. And the one who knows that, iti mattva bhajante ma buddha bhava samandita. Who knows, somebody who knows that, he is considered to be the intelligent person and he is worshipping Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme. Veda says this. Lord Krishna has himself spoken that. Srimad Bhagavatam also says that Vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadivi. Yeah. यह एक ईश जगदात्म लीलया सृजति अवति अत्ति न तत्र सज्जते. वेदेषु गुह्येषु च गुह्यवादिनी. The secret in the Vedas is he is spoken about in the Vedas, you can say secretly, guhyeshu cha guhyavadivi. Guhyavadivi is the acharyas, the rishis who are talking about glorification, etc., anything. But they ultimately they are glorifying Krishna. Vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhyavadivi. And then they also says, Sa ek ya ek Isha. He is the only Ishwar. Only controller, supreme controller. Yeah. Jagadatma Leela. Yeah. To perform his Leela, he creates this universe. He creates this Prakriti Jagat that we see. Look around us here. And Srajati, he creates, Avati, he maintains, and then he annihilates. But still he is not attached. So Srimad Bhagavatam. Srajati Avati Atti Tatra Na Sajjate Isme. He is not connected with that. He is not attached to that, but he is the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So Vedas are saying this, Srimad Bhagavatam is saying this, Lord Krishna himself has spoken that, I am the Supreme. Then Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji is also saying, Brahma Samhita 5.5. Yeah. So Brahmaji is saying, Ishvara Parma Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinde Sarvakaran Ka. So he's saying that Ishvara Parma Krishna, that Param Ishwar, the supreme controller, is Krishna. Yeah. And how is he? He is Sat, Chit and Anand. Yeah. So mind these words, Sat, Chit and Anand. So these are the different potencies of Krishna. Yeah. So Sat is called his Sandhini potency, existence. Chit is called Samvit potency, the knowledge. Yeah. And Anand is the blissful potency, or Haladini Shakti that we call it. So these are the three. Yeah. And these three combined becomes Vishuddha Sattva. And then Anadir Adir. Anadir, there is no, he doesn't have a beginning, but he is the beginning of everything. Yeah. And he is Sarv Karana. So that is Lord Krishna. And like this Prabhuji's Mata, you will find a lot of references in various scriptures. But the point is, so Lord Krishna is the source of everything. Yeah? And then we discussed these three potencies. Yeah? Sat, Chit and Anand. Yeah? So that's the, as discussed in the scriptures. Now let me share my screen and we will look at in detail on these three, Sat, Chit and Anand. And yes, we will go to Shri Radha Tatva, but please bear with me until such time. Let's get an understanding of Shri Krishna. So sharing my screen again. I hope you can see this. So on the top, Prabhuji Mataji, Sat, Chit, Anand. So this is the one spiritual energy which manifests in three forms. So this is Krishna's energy. And as I said, the eternal is the Sandhini Shakti, or which is the existential potency. So everything that exists. You know how we speak about Sattvic mode. You know, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, yeah, he says, Trayaguniya Vishya Vedanish Trayaguniya Bhavarjuna. Yeah? And then he says, Niryoga Kshema, Nitya Sattvaso, yeah? Atmavan, yeah? Nirdvando. So four things Krishna is saying. Yeah? But we will focus on Nitya Sattvaso for now, for the purpose of this conversation. So he says, Niryoga Kshem, don't worry about gains or losses. What you have, because Krishna is saying, I'll preserve what you have and I'll provide what you lack. So don't worry about that. Nirdvando, don't get out of the dualities. Atmavan, be Atmaram, Atmaramascha Munyo. That famous verse that Mahaprabhu spoke to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then he also discussed that with Sanatana Goswami. Atma Ramas Jamunyo. Kurvanti ahetukim bhakti itham bhut gunohari. The people who are Atmaram, what they do is when they hear the gunas, when they hear the qualities, the pastime of Krishna, what they start doing Kurvanti ahetuki bhakti. They just start doing uninterrupted devotion service to Krishna. So such is the potency. But before that, they have to become Atmaram. Yeah? So that's what Krishna is saying, Atmavan, if you want to understand that. So Nirdvando, Niryogakshem, Atmavan, these three. But the fourth one, like I said, for this discussion is Nitya Sattvasto. Always being in the mode of goodness, Sattva Guna. And as the hierarchy is, the lowest is the ignorance, then passion, and then the sattvic mode. And then, as you know, during the day, how it varies. In the morning, Brahma Muhurat, it is said we're in the sattvic mode, pure mode. During the day, we are in the mode of passion. And during the night, as the night starts, evening, then we start getting into mode of ignorance. Yeah? So that is why there are various prayers to be offered and various devotional activities to be performed so that we can maintain that sattvic mood. That sattvic mood that we wake up with, hopefully, and then we can continue that. So that Nitya Sattva. So that is what it is, Prabhuji Mataji. Sat. And that is called Krishna's Sandhini Shakti or existential potency. As in existence. This whole existence. When we say you're existing in a sattvic environment. So sattvic environment is not something like, special kind of construction material, nothing like that. Sattvic means your own mindset. Our own mindset, our surroundings. We have Archa Vigraha at home. We are offering prayers to Krishna. We are cooking. Whatever we cook, we offer to Krishna as a bhog. Yeah. Then we are accepting the remnant as a prasad. Yeah. We are cleaning the place nicely. We are dressing the deities nicely. We are planting flowers. We have Tulsi Maharani at home. So that means our existence is becoming sattvic. So there is no special thing. We are bathing at times, we are chanting, we are studying the scriptures. So that's what it is from Mataji. We are purifying our existence. But above that is called Sattva, and then above it is called Vishuddha Sat. And we will talk about that. So that is the existence. And then if you go to the box below that, eternal Sat, in the blue color, so it says Sad Amse Sandhini, which is eternal existence. So Krishna's existence. And then the box below it explains that the essential portion of Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva. So Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. So Lord Krishna's existence doesn't mean that Krishna is dependent on that, but it means in a way that Krishna is there where the mood is Shuddha Sattva. Put it this way. Yeah? Krishna is independent, but it's more for us. If we are in a Shuddha Sattva environment, then there is a possibility that we might be able to attract Krishna because of our mood to serve him, because of our devotional mood. Yeah. And then the examples given are Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seats, etc. They are all Shuddha Sattva. So because in Vrindavan, the devotees, the residents of Vrindavan, they are always glorifying Krishna. They are always, all their actions are to please Krishna. Yeah, they are in the sattvic mood. There is no jealousy there. There is no envious mood there. There is no negativity there. So that becomes Shuddha Sattva. And then if that is Shuddha Sattva, then what it means is, Prabhuji Mataji, then the char and achar. Char is moving elements and achar is which they don't move. So somebody might say, what does it mean? Krishna's seat, Krishna's bedding, Krishna's shoes. So they also become purified. Yes, Prabhuji? Mataji? Yeah. So everything else becomes purified. The things that are moving and things that are not moving, they also become purified. And that's where Lord Krishna appears. Okay? So that is the mood. Now, just for your understanding, one famous pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described in the 4th canto, 3rd chapter, when Mother Sati goes to Daksh Prajapati's house. Yeah? You know that pastime when Daksh Prajapati did not welcome Mother Sati, and then she entered into the fire. Yeah? Now, before that, there was a conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Sati. When Mother Sati wanted to go, she was with Lord Shiva on Kailash, and she saw all these planes, the demigods who were going to attend a function at Daksh Prajapati's house with their wives, and their wives were dressed so nicely. Now, as Mother Sati saw them, she also felt that maybe I should also go. So she obviously found out, and it is said that as they were going in the plane, those demigods and their wives, they were talking about Daksha. So she could overhear them and she could figure out that, yes, at my father's place there is a function. And she realized that I'm not invited. So she goes to Lord Shiva, and then she asks Lord Shiva that there is a function at my father's house. Can I go there? And then Lord Shiva tells her that, yes, you can go there, but then Lord Shiva tries to convince her that if you are not invited, then it's not going there. It's not worth going there when you are not invited. And Lord Shiva also gives an example, and he says there are 3 places. He says a guru's house, a father's house, and a friend's house. So he says at these 3 places, there is no need to get an invitation. You can visit these places, father, friend, and guru's place you can visit. Don't wait for an invitation. And you can visit them. But Lord Shiva also tells her that yadapi virodha mana jahan koi taha gaye kalyana. But if you know that there will be some sort of resistance there, that there will be people against you there, then by going there, it is not your kalyanakari. Yeah? It is not beneficial by going there. But still Mother Sati insisted. And then Lord Shiva also tells her that, then that conversation comes up how Daksh Prajapati was promoted. He was made head of all the Prajapati. And then in that assembly, Lord Shiva was sitting. And as Daksh Prajapati came, everybody stood up, but Lord Shiva did not stand up or pay his obeisances to Daksh Prajapati. Well, from a materialist point of view, he was the son-in-law of Daksh Prajapati. So normally, tradition-wise, they actually respect son-in-law. So son-in-law is given more respect in that sense. So that is from a material point of view. But then Daksh Prajapati took it to his heart that why didn't Lord Shiva stood up? And then Lord Shiva tells Mother Sati that he clarifies this. He says, you might be thinking as to why didn't I offer my obeisances to Lord Shiva? And then Lord Shiva tells her that in social behavior, people, they are greeting each other, they are going down to each other, they are smiling, they are, paying their obeisances to each other. But Lord Shiva said that obeisances or that sort of social behavior is not worthwhile right? If it is just being done for the sake of doing it. Yeah? Unless we are offering the real obeisances, Lord Shiva says, is offered to the Supreme Lord who is inside. So very important, Prabhuji Mataji, when we are saying somebody like word like namaste, when we say nam as in I pay my obeisances, aste as in your astitva, your existence. Yeah. So same thing as we saying existence here. So when I'm paying my obeisances, I'm paying my obeisances to your existence, to the Supreme Lord who is sitting within your heart. That is the one. Otherwise, it's not worth paying obeisances to a dead body. Without that Supreme inside, it is a dead body, right? It is just a day, which is made up of 5 gross elements. So we are really offering our obeisances to the astitva, to your sattvic existence. That is the point. Yeah. So then Lord Shiva also further clarifies, and he tells Mother Sati, he says that Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam Yad Iyate Tatra Puman Apavrita Sattve Cha Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Sattve Cha Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Hi Adhokshajo Me Manasa Vidhiyate Hi Adhokshajo Me Namasa Vidhiyate. So what Lord Shiva is telling Mother Sati here is that Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Very important. The Sattva related to this existence perspective or the existence potential, Prabhuji Mataji. So what Lord Shiva is saying is Sattvam Vishuddham. So this is Sattva, yeah, the existence. Sadamshe Sandhini, eternal existence. So he's saying is that Vishuddha Sattva. And Vishuddha Sattva is combination of all 3, Sat, Chit and Anand. Yeah. So Lord Shiva is telling Mother Sati that Sattvam Vishuddham, the Vishuddha Sattva is called Vasudev. Vasudev Shabditam. Yeah. So where there is Vishuddha Sattva, everything is Sattvic mode, that is called Vasudev. Yeah. And then in the next line he says, Yad Iyate Tatra Puman Apabrata. The Puman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is revealed in that Vishuddha Sattva only. Yeah. It is called Vasudev, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed there. We just celebrated Janmashtami and we discussed that verse. Yeah. Bhagwan api Vishwa Atma Bhakta Nam Abhyam Kara. Yeah. Avivesha Amsha Bhagena Manah Anak Dunduve. Yeah. Anak Dunduve is Vasudev. So Vasudev is Vishuddha Sattva. It represents Vishuddha Sattva. So Lord Krishna appeared himself. Yes, Avivesha Amsha Bhagena. So he entered into the mind, into the man of Vasudevji. Avivesh, he entered. And how? Amsha Bhagena, with all his amshas. So that's how Lord Krishna came. But he came there, so that is the representation of Vishuddha Sattva, Prabhuji Mataji, Vasudev. That's what Lord Shiva is saying, that Vishuddha Sattva is defined as Vasudev, and that's where the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Puman Apavrata, uncovered. Yeah? That's where the Supreme Lord is uncovered. And then he says, Sattveja Tasmin Bhagwan Vasudeva. And then he says, in that Vishuddha Sattva, Bhagwan Vasudev. In the first line he's saying Vasudev, and now he's saying Bhagwan Vasudev. Yeah. So in the Vasudev, Bhagwan Vasudev appears. Yeah. Appears. And then he says, Sattveja Tasmin Bhagwan Vasudevo Hi Adhokshajo. And then he says that Supreme Lord, he is certainly Adhokshajo, is something that we cannot see with our material senses. Adhokshajo. Yeah? So Lord, Supreme Lord is addressed as Adhoksha. Adhoksha is Aksh is senses, and Adhoksha is the control or the limit of the senses, and something which is beyond the limit of the senses, or the capability born out to material senses, he is beyond them. Yeah. So that Supreme Lord Shiva is saying is He Adhokshaje me namsa vidhiyate. So I offer my obeisances to that Supreme Personality of Godhead who appears in the Vishuddha Sattva, which is called Vasudeva. Yeah, and who is beyond material senses. I actually pay my obeisances to that. Yeah, so very important. Yeah, so that links up with this line that Lord's existence is in Shuddha Sattva. Yeah? So that's the first. Now the next one is called Sambit Shakti, cognitive potency. Yeah? And cognitive potency, Prabhuji Mataji, this links to the knowledge. Yeah? And Krishnadas Kaviraj says that the knowledge that Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. So that knowledge, just by having that knowledge, understanding that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the only Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no one else. Yeah, that as he says that Sakala Ishwara Tumi. Yeah, you are the only Ishwar. Yeah, Ara Sababhritya. Yes. Yeah, Ekala Ishwara Tumi Ara Sababhritya. You are the only controller. Everyone else is your servant. Yeah. So that knowledge, just by having that knowledge or getting that knowledge in the core of our hearts, that is the real knowledge. So that is called the cognitive potency. Yeah. So when we have that knowledge and when we understand that Lord Krishna's existence he exists in Shuddha Sattva, Prabhuji Mataji, then the third potency is called Ahladini Shakti, or the pleasure potency, which is called bliss, Anand. Sat Chid Anand. Yeah? Lord's Vigraha, we say, he is a Sat Chidanand Vigraha. Yeah? So he is always in bliss. Yeah? Now, Ahladini Shakti, or the pleasure potency, is again further divided into two. One is the pure love of Godhead, and the other is the adulterated love of Godhead. So pure love of Godhead, Prabhuji Mataji, is which means that I'm only doing Krishnarthe Akhila Chesta. All my actions is to please Krishna. Yeah? Like Krishnadas Kaviraj says in once again when he is talking about the love of gopis, and very often Prabhuji Mataji, it is taken in a different way, and Prabhupada was very particular that we should not be discussing these pastimes unless we are in the association of a senior Mahabhagavata. So, but otherwise we are forbidden. So Krishnadas Kaviraj clarifies. So he says that Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Bole Kam, and Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Prem Nam. So the first is, he's saying that Atmendriya. So this is adulterated love of God. Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Bole Kam. It is called Kam. It is called lust, because we have a desire to satisfy my ego. Sometimes we're doing service, but then we just wait, somebody will come and say, oh, what a nice service, Prabhuji Mataji. Yeah. And we're looking for some sort of pleasure, for our own senses, even if not that. So, if you want to cook, yes, you want to cook, but there's still some pleasure. But if the mood is what Krishna will like, yeah? So Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Prem Nam. If all my actions is how it will please Krishna, will Krishna like it? Yeah? If it means Krishna likes something to be done in a different way, then we do it in a different. Even if we think ourselves, oh, this is the right way of doing things, and then we sometimes get so hung up, we just push it. But if Krishna likes it that way, then so be it, because we don't know. As it is said that his Leela are Gambhir Koti Samudra. You don't know what is there. So many situations. I hope you understand what is the pure love and what is the adulterated love of Godhead. So Ahladini Shakti is in two. We also hear that famous, we sing Narsim prayer. Yeah. What is the sign? Prahlada Lada Daine. Prahlada Lahada Daine. Yeah. Giving pleasure to Prahlad. Yeah. Namaste Narasimhai. Yeah. So that is a loving exchange between a devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's what in the next box is talking about. So the essence of Ahladini potency is the love of Godhead. Yeah. And the essence of love of God is emotion. And the ultimate development of emotion is Mahabhav. Yeah. So Srimati Radharani Prabhuji Mataji represents that Mahabhav. Yeah. Mahabhav Swarupa. Yeah. In the same prayer that we discuss, Srila Rupa Goswami in Sattvamala, Prarthana Paddhati Stavmala that we discussed, Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. And then next he says Mahabhava Swarupatvam. So he's addressing Srimati Radharani Rupa Goswami as Mahabhav Swarupa Tvam. You are the Swarup, Mahabhav personified. Mahabhav Swarupatam. And then he says Krishna Priya Varishyasi. So you are the topmost in the consorts or the lover of Krishna. So you are the Varishyasi, as in you are the topmost. Mahabhav Swarupatvam Krishna Priya Varishyasi Prema Bhakti Prade Devi. Yeah? Radhike Tvam Namamyaham. Yeah? So he's saying that you give the Prem Bhakti, yeah? the loving devotion service, Prabhuji Mataji. And Prem Bhakti we have understood now. Krishna Ichha. Yeah? That if we are desiring for our own happiness, then that is calm. Yeah. And then Krishnendriya Priti Ichha Dhare Prem Naam. So that is the love. Yeah. So Srimati Radharani Prabhuji Mati. Now we will go into and we will start discussing. We'll talk about Shri Radha Tatva from this point on. So Srimati Radharani is Mahabhav personified. She is also the Haladini potency of Krishna. Yeah? And she can give that to us. That's what Rupa Goswami is saying, that Mahabhav Swarupatvam, yeah? And then Prema Bhakti Prade Devi, Radhike Tvam Namamyam. So Srimati Radharani can give us the Prema Bhakti, Prabhuji Mataji, to Lord Krishna. And she represents the Haladini potency of Krishna. Yeah? That is why whenever Srila Prabhupada's father, His Grace Gaur Mohan Dey, whenever any sannyasi or any exalted personality would visit their house, so he will only ask for one thing from them. He will say, please bless my son, so that he gets the blessing and mercy of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. And you know how we Gaudiyas, we worship Srimati Radharani. It is said that people who are worshipping the Shaiv, people who are worshipping Shiva, they are called Shaiv. People who are worshipping Vishnu, they are called Vaishnava. Yeah? And people who worship Srimati Radharani are called Gaudiya. Yeah? And his Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was lecturing near Shri Radha Kund, so he said we actually worship Krishna because Krishna is with Srimati Radha. Yeah? That is why we worship Krishna. So to that extent, Prabhuji Mataji, it's very important to understand that philosophical aspect. So Srimati Radharani is the pleasure potency of Krishna. And through Srimati Radharani only our services can be passed on to Krishna. So she is the topmost devotee. So through her only our prayers or our devotion can reach Shri Krishna. Yeah? Now So Krishnadas Kavira says that Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhav. She is the repository of all good qualities and the crest jewel among all lovely consorts of Shri Krishna. Yeah? Shri Radhika Mahabhav Swarupa. So she is the Mahabhav personified. Yeah? Shri Radhika Mahabhav Swarupa Shri Radha Thakurani. So he's calling her that she is the Thakurani. She is the topmost. Mahabhav Swarupa, Shri Radha Thakurani. Yeah. Sarva Gun Khani, yeah. Krishna Kanta Shiromani. So that's what Krishna is saying about Srimati Radharani. So we understand that position. Then how these three energies link up. So that's also, so let's just go through this on your right hand side of the screen. So the Sandhini portion of Krishna, now how they all work together, these three potencies from our understanding, so that we can try and implement, we can try and benefit ourselves in our devotional yatra. So Sandhini portion of Shri Krishna is the internal potency, has manifested all attractive form of Shri Krishna. Yeah. So as we said, the existential potency. Once again, it is for us to understand, Prabhuji Mataji, Krishna can come anywhere and everywhere he likes, but just so we understand, his existential has to be Shuddha Sat, Sandhini Shakti. Yeah. The same potency in Haladini feature has presented Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani is Haladini Shakti personified. So she comes from the Haladini Shakti of Shri Krishna. Now, very often, like I said, people say that that marriage, etc., Krishna and Radha. So we have to understand Srimati Radharani has come from Krishna. Yeah? She has come from Krishna. Now, how you can marry yourself? If you look at it from that perspective. But at the same time, for Leela Ras Aswade, they have taken two bodies. Dhare Duiru. Yeah. Shri Radha Krishna, yeah, they are ek. Yeah. Shri Radha Krishna aiche ekai swarup. Yeah. Leela Aswadite Dhare Duiru. To enjoy the pastime, to enjoy that Leela, they have taken two forms, but they are one root. Yeah? So Haladini has presented Srimati Radharani, who is the attraction for the all attractive for Shri Krishna. Yeah? And then the love of Godhead through devotional service, yeah, which is the pleasure potency of the Lord. And the Haladini potency gives Lord all the transcendental pleasure. Yeah? And upon which the Lord bestows such a potency of his pure devotees, upon his pure devotees. Yeah. So through the Haladini potency only, yes, as we said, Prahlad Lad Daine. Yeah. So through the Haladini potency, which indirectly means through Srimati Radharani Prabhuji Mata. It is only through her we get there. And not just us, it's everyone. Yeah. Lord Shiva, when he is glorifying Srimati Radharani, he is speaking to Mother Parvati. And Lord Shiva telling Mother Parvati that Anant Koti Vishnu Lok Namra Padmajarchite Anant Koti Vishnu Lok Namra Padmajarchite Himadrija Pulomja Viranchija Varaprade Himadrija Vilomja Viranchija Varaprade Apar Siddhi Riddhi Dag Satpada Angula Nakhe. And then he says, Kada Karishyasi Mam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. So this is Lord Shiva singing the glories of Mother Radharani. And he's speaking this to Mother Parvati. Yeah? And what he's saying is that Anant Vishnu Lok, yeah? Anant Koti Vishnu Lok, or all the Vaishnavas, what they are doing is they are looking to serve Srimati Radharani. Yeah? And then he also says Padma, yeah? Padmaja Archite. Padmaja is in who is born from the Padma is in lotus, and who is born from the lotus, which is Brahmaji. Yeah? So all the Vaishnavas, Brahmaji, who is born from the lotus, Padmaja Archite, he is also doing the archana or offering the archana and prayers to Srimati Radharani. Then he says Himadrija Pulomaja Viranchija Varaprade. Himadrija is Mother Parvati, who is sitting next to Lord Shiva. So Himadrija, so she's and Varaprade. So Mother Radha or Srimati Radharani gives boons to Himadrija, to Mother Parvati. Vilomja's daughter is Mother Sachi, who is wife of Indra. So Radharani also gives boon to Mother Sachi. And then Viranchija is Brahma. Brahma's daughter is Mother Saraswati. So Mother Saraswati, Sachi Mata, and Mother Parvati, they are all getting boons from Mother Srimati Radharani. And then he says, Apar Riddhi Siddhi Dag. All the riddhis, all the opulences, all the siddhi, all the mystic powers, where they come from, he says, Sat Padanguli Nakhe. Yeah, from the toe, from the tip of the toe nail. From the tip of the toenail, all the opulence, all the mystics, everything comes from the toenail of Srimati Radharani. And then it says, Kada karishasi iha. Yeah? Kada karishasi iha mam kripa kataksh bhajan. So Lord Shiva is saying, when will she give me kripa kataksh? When she will have her merciful looks upon me. So see, Lord Shiva is praying himself. Yeah. Brahmaji is praying her. All the Vaishnavas are praying for Srimati Radharani's mercy. And she gives boon to Mother Saraswati, Indra's wife, Lord Shiva's consort, Mother Parvati. And all the riddhi, all the siddhis, they are coming from the tip of the toenail of Srimati Radharani. So that is the position of Srimati Radharani Prabhuji Mataji. So she can bestow anything and everything to a pure devotee who really wants to serve Krishna, who has developed that loving relationship. And how do we develop? How as a devotee? So this is very important. The last point is the Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive the Haladini potency directly by the power of Samvit potency. So Samvit potency, which is in the middle, which is the cognitive potency, which is the knowledge. And what is that knowledge? The basis of that knowledge is, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Lord Krishna is everything. So that knowledge, Prabhuji Mataji, when we get that knowledge, that understanding, with that understanding, our sattva, our existence gets purified. And when we are in that purified existence, with the knowledge that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everything, then Mother Radha, then Srimati Radharani becomes merciful upon us. And then we are able to have that loving exchange with Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service. So that's how this all links up. Now, very often, now we go to the next point. Very often, like I said, people ask, who is Rukmani ji? Who is Radha ji? And why Krishna married so many, he had so many wives. So let's look at it now. Okay. So now the next level to understand is the consorts of Lord Krishna. Now all the consorts of Lord Krishna, Prabhuji Mataji, they come from Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is source of all the consorts. This is as per our Shastric this thing, So very, very important to understand. And they are categorized into three categories: Lord Krishna's consort, or Lord Krishna's incarnations consort. Because everything comes from him. So let's not get hung up onto that Prabhu, you saying Krishna, but how about Narayan? They have also come from Krishna. Some people say Abhimanyu, who was so-called Radharani, who in how she was married to Abhimanyu, but that Abhimanyu is a representation of Krishna, and that's just for the Leela Aswadan, and we will touch upon that as well. But primarily, Prabhuji Mataji, there are these three categories. So first is the goddess of fortune, which is a partial manifestation of Srimati Radhika. Then the second is the queens in Dwarka. They are just an image, they are a reflection of Srimati Radharani. They have also come from Srimati Radharani. And the milkmaids of Viraja, they are expansion of Srimati Radhika. So three categories. One is the partial manifestation of Srimati Radhika. Partial manifestation, as in, if you want to take an example, for example, Shri Parshuram. Parshuram is a partial, is a kala of kala, as we say. Ramadi Murti Shukala Niyamena Tishta. Kala of kala, expansion of an expansion, something like that. They don't have full potency, but they are a partial manifestation. They have some qualities of the person that they have come from, put it this way. So the goddesses of fortune, Prabhuji Mataji, they are all Lakshmis. As Brahmaji says, Lakshmi Sahastra Shad Sambhram Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tam Ham Bhajan. 5.29 Brahma Samhita. So all these Lakshmis, and there are various universes. So all the Lakshmis there, they are an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Let's be clear about that. And what they do is, their symptoms are, they display the formal Vaibhav Vilas. They display the opulence, the Vilas, all the opulence that we get. So if you are worshipping Lakshmi ji, indirectly you are worshipping Srimati Radharani. It say that. Then the next is the queens. They are reflection of Srimati Radhika. They are image. It's like a shadow, Prabhuji Mother. Yeah, you can say a shadow of yourself. Yes, they can't be separated from Srimati Radhika because shadow is your shadow. But in terms of opulence, in terms of potency. So the queens of Dwarka. Now somebody might say that Krishna, he was there in Dwarka, he was also in Vrindavan. So it is said that the Krishna in Dwarka, he was an expansion, yeah, in the Narayan form, in the opulence. Because otherwise, it is very clearly said that Vrindavan Tyaktva Padam Ekam Nagachyati. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. If they could not see the Brijvasis, it was to generate more love. Yeah, it is just that if he is not visible, doesn't mean we can't see. Yeah, he is there, just that our vision is blurred. Yeah, we can't see that. Yeah? So the queens of Dwarka, they are an image of Srimati Radharani. They are a reflection, and they are Vaibhav Prakash. They are like light. You know, when the light comes, we know sun is there. Yeah. So look at it from that perspective. It's just the sun rays are coming through the. Even if there are some clouds, you see some lights coming from the clouds, then you know sun is there. So that's how these queens are their reflection of Srimati Radhika. Then the last one is, the third one is the milkmaids of Braja. They are an expansion of Srimati Radhika. Yeah? So they have come from, they are just an expansion. So it's like you can say, you know, they have similar potency like Srimati Radhika, but they are an expression of Srimati Radharani, and that's why all the gopis are addressed. Srimati Radharani is the topmost gopi. Yeah? So all the Vrij Devis, by these expansion of Srimati Radharani's personal body, yeah, they've come from Srimati Radharani's personal body, and she helps Lord Krishna, yeah, taste the rasa dance and other similar activities. So one is you create somebody and you put your potencies in that, and one is you're just expanding from your own body. So these are the three categories, Prabhuji Mataji. But now similarly, there is a similar parallel to Lord Krishna also. Now, just as the fountainhead Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnations, so Shri Radhika is the cause of all these consorts. Yeah? As it is also said, Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Ma. Yeah? Dui Vastu Bhedanahi Shastra Prama. Yeah. So Shri Radha is the Purna Shakti. So all the Shakti, all the consorts, yeah, Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, yeah, Shama Shyam. Yeah. So they've all come from Srimati Radharani. Yeah. Like Lord Krishna is the fountainhead of all the incarnations, Srimati Radha is the cause of all the consorts. So let there be no doubt. And that Shakti, when I'm saying Prabhuji Mataji, not me, it's Krishna Das Kaviraj saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he's saying Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Ma. So that Purna Shakti, Prabhuji Mataji, that includes all the Shaktis, like Durga Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Mother Parvati, etc. Yeah. So, I mean, Lord Shiva has, you know, if you look at it the way he has come, so he came from Brahmaji, you know, Rudra Avatar, when Brahmaji got upset with his sons. So all the consorts, just for our understanding, they are representative of Srimati Radharani. So Lord Krishna and all the incarnations have come from Lord Krishna. There is only one difference in these expansions. Lord Krishna also have Swayam Prakash. Radharani doesn't have Swayam Prakash. Lord Krishna Swayam Prakash, as in Ras Leela, Lord Krishna expanded himself in many forms. In Dwarka, Lord Krishna expanded himself for 16,100. So that's where Krishna is supreme. Because so yeah, and then Krishna and Radha are one in two. Yeah, Dui Vastu Bhedanahi Shastra. So they are identical. Krishna expands himself in multi-incarnations and plenary portions like Purusha Avatar, and Srimati Radharani also expands in multi-forms as goddess of fortune, the queens and the damsels of Braja. So there is no difference, Prabhuji Mataji, if somebody is saying Rukmini Krishna, yes, that Rukmini Ji is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So that's very important, even to the extent Now, looking at it from a Shastric perspective, in the Shastras, now how Radha Krishna, in terms of serving attitude, it is said that once again our Acharya's interpretation is, so what they're saying is, who is Radha? Yeah, we know it is the pleasure potency, Hladini Shakti. But again, the way they have interpreted is, they are saying Radhyate, Radhyate Yaya Sa Radha. Yeah. So Radhyate, this is, so here it means more of a service, from a serving perspective. Radha, I mean, it has come from word Aradhana. Yeah, and we'll look into that. So Aradhana means doing service, doing worshipping. So here it says, our acharyas or the senior scholars, so they have interpreted the word Radha as in Radhyate Yaya Sa Radha. And who? Radhyate as in serving. And who is Radha serving? Krishna only. Yeah. So Radha who serves Krishna is called Radha. Radhyate Yaya Sa Radha. And in other way they have interpreted, that is Radhev Aradhyate Maya. Radha Ev. So that personality who serves, or Krishna, or that personality who Krishna serves is Radha. Yeah. So there are two, you can say, conflicting statement or opposite, but they are related. Yeah. So who Krishna serves is Radha, and who Radha serves is Krishna, or who is served by Radha. Yeah. So Radha is who is serving Krishna, and Krishna who is serving Radha. Yeah? So they both serve each other. Yeah? Once again, looking at further Shastric evidence, in Radha Upanishad, Prabhuji Mataji, once again it is clarified that Radha and Krishna are one. Yeah? They are one into, as we saying here. So it says, Yeyam Radha Yascha Krishna. Yeah? And then he says, Rasabdhir Dehascha Ekai. Yeah, Kridan Artham Dvividho. Yeah. So what's saying is Yeyam Radha. She is Radha. Yeah. Yashcha Krishna. Who is Radha? She is Krishna also. Radha and Krishna, they are same. So who is Radha? She is Krishna, and Krishna is, he is Krishna and she is also Radha. So they are same. Yeah, Yeyam Radha, Yashcha Krishna, and then Rasabdhir. They are the ocean of ras. They are the ocean of pleasure. Yeah? Haladini Shakti, as I'm saying. They are the ocean of pleasure, and Dehascha Ekai. So their body is also one. But why have they separated? Kridananartham Divavidham. So this is Radha Tatva Upanishad. Yeah? That for Krida, for performing these pastimes, they have taken two forms. And very important, Prabhuji Mataji, these pastimes, they are not for any sense enjoyment. Yeah? Even though it is our interpretation. In Krishna's Kaviraj says, Shri Radha Krishna Ek Atma Dui Deh Dhari Anyone Vilas Ras, yeah? Anyone Vilas Ras Aswadan Kari. Yeah? So Shri Radha Krishna, they are one soul, and they have taken two forms, and Anyone means for one and another, with one and another. What? Vilas Ras Aswadan Kari. To taste the ras of these leelas, yeah, they have these two forms. But here we have to understand, Prabhuji Mataji, the true interpretation is, so Srimati Radharani is her only desire is to serve Krishna. So that vilas ras that she is enjoying, yeah, it's very subtle. Let's try to catch it. So the vilas ras that she is trying to enjoy is by serving Krishna. There is no self-enjoyment. Yeah? As we discussed, that Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Boli Kam Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Premna. And then he further clarifies Kamera Tatparya. Yeah? Now here it will become more clear. Kamera Tatparya Nij Sambhog Kevala. And Krishna Sukh Tatparya Matra Prema Taprabal. Yeah. So Kamendra Tatparya, Kamera Tatparya. Now if we want to differentiate for understanding purpose, the purpose of Kam, the purpose of desire is Nij Sambhog Kevala. Yeah. If you are offering something, there is some level of your own desire to feel happy. Some sense enjoyment when two people are uniting. So Both of them are desiring, but here, even in the union, the desire is to make other person happy. If you see what it means. So kamera tatparya nij sambhog kevala. There is still some level of self pleasure, Prabhuji Mataji, in Kam. But Krishna Sukh Tatparya Matra Prem. Only Prem. Yeah. Ta Prabal. That is why it is so powerful. And the powerful, then the Prem can even bring Krishna under your control. Yes. Aham Bhakta Paradhino. So that is the parakastha of love. The Krishna becomes your servant. Krishna comes your heart, comes into your man, or he by himself. Avivesha amsa bhagena. Yeah? That supreme personality of Godhead who has taken birth in Vrindavan. What to speak? All the gopis, they go and chastise him. They are calling him thief. They are running with a stick behind him. Yeah? Where else will you see? Brahma is scared of Jeev. Brahma is running, and Jeev has got a stick in his hand. Brahma is running. Oh, in Hindi it says, "हमने भागता हुआ ब्रह्म से वृंदावन में देखा है." Brahma भाग रहा है, डर के भाग रहा है. Brahma is running, scared. Yeah, Gopya dade tvai kirtagasi dam tavat. Mother Kunti is praying. Gopya dade tvai kirtagasi dam tavat. Yeah, my dear Krishna, you are crying. This is so bewildering. And the what you call the kajal in your eyes, when you were crying, it was your whole face, it was like blackish, the thing from the eyes. So it only happens in Vrindavan. But Prabhuji Mataji, that is the prem, because their only desire is to please Krishna. So very important to understand in any devotional service, any activity we are doing, if we have iota, if we have smallest of self pleasure, if we are seeking self-glorification, self-pleasure, it will go bust. It won't work. Then it is qualified as Kama. Kamendra Tatparya Nij Sambhog Keva. And that is why then Krishnadas Kaviraj concludes. He says, Atev Gopi Ganera Prem. Yeah? Nahi Kam. Yeah? The love of gopis, yeah, it's not Kam. Atev Gopi Ganera Nahi Kam Gandh. Yeah. So in the love of the gopis, there is no smell of Kam at all. Atev Gopi Ganera Nahi Kam Gandh. Yeah. Krishna Sukh Hetu Matra Krishna se sambandh. So their sambandh with Krishna, their relationship with Krishna is only for the pleasure of Krishna. Yeah. So you know how we plan. Sometimes people think of having a relationship. We try to establish friendship with people. We plan in advance. Okay, maybe this person looks very influential. Let me invite him for food. Let me, offer him some gift. Yeah, because we are planning ahead. We are planning 3 months ahead. After 6 months, this person might be useful to me. But gopis, he says, Krishna Sukh Matra, Krishna se sambandh. So they are connected with Krishna only for Krishna's happiness, Prabhuji Mataji. And that is starting from Srimati Radharani, including all the gopis. Yeah, because she is the topmost gopi. Atev Gopi Ganera Nahi Kam Gandh Krishna Sukh Matra Krishna se sambandh. Atma Sukh Dukh Gopira Nahi Ka Vichar Krishna Sukh Hetu Mano Chestha Vyabhar. Atma Sukh Dukh, for their own pleasure and for their own miseries, they don't even think about it. Gopira Nahika Vichar. In our material relationship, Prabhuji Mataji, we think, oh, if I have to go, it will be a trouble for me. If I have to go out to give something to them, or to pick up something, it will be 1 hour travel, it will be this, it will be that, etc. We weigh up things, right? We have things in our relationship. But Gopi Gana, they don't care. The famous pastime when Lord Krishna and Balram and his friends, they were hungry. And Krishna sent his friend to go and ask Brahmanas. Brahmanas refused to give food. But then Krishna said, go to gopis. Those gopis were refused by the Brahmanas, don't go. But they said no. So they forgo everything. Yeah. So that is the mood. Yeah. Krishna Sukh Hetu Mano Chestha Vyabhar. And they don't care. So that is the Parakasta, Prabhuji Mataji. That is the love, that is the pure love of Godhead. And that love we get from Srimati Radha. because she is the Haladini Shakti personified. She represents all the queens of Vrindavan. Yeah, I hope that makes the point clear. The position of Srimati Radharani, the tattva, the philosophy. Why do we pray to Srimati Radharani? Why do we ask for? Why even Lord Shiva is praying? Why even Lord Shiva is glorifying? Why Rupa Goswami is saying? Yeah, not just that. Now, once again in Radha Upanishad, it goes to the extent saying that by taking Krishna's name without Radha is failure. It doesn't work. Rather, it is condemned. It is condemned, Prabhuji Mataji, to glorify, to worship Krishna without Srimati Radha. Yeah. So it says there that it says Radha Sahito Deve Madhave Naiva Radhika. Radha Sahito Deve Madhave, the Krishna is considered to be complete when he is with Srimati Radharani. Otherwise, he is incomplete. He is complete, Naiv Radhika. If he is without Radhika, without Srimati Radharani, he is incomplete. Yeah. Radha Sahito Deve Madhave Naiv Radhika. And then he says, Yo Janyor Bhedam Pashyati Sa Samsunate Muktyo Na Bhavati. The people who differentiate, who do bhed between Radha and Krishna, who do that, then what happens to them is Sa Samsrite. Samsrite is in they keep moving in this samsara. And samsara is Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Muktayo Na Bhavati. They don't get liberated if you are doing any differentiation between Radha and Krishna. And still he says, Yastu Vina Radha Ta Dhyayati Prapatati Pravadati Sa Mudhotam Uttama. Yeah. Still, if somebody Vina Radha, without Radha, Dhyayati, if you are meditating on Krishna without Radhaji. Yeah. If you are Pravadati, if you are speaking Krishna's name without Radha, if you are Prapatati, if you are reading Krishna without Radha, yeah, then Mudhottama. Mood is called people who are in the animalistic state of mind. So he is called the topmost of animals. So it's like a four-legged animal who is standing on two legs without Radha. So that is the potency of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So this is stated in Shri Radha Tatva Upanishad. Yeah. And not just that, Lord Krishna himself, when Lord Krishna is speaking to Naradji, in Naraj Pancharatra it is said, Lord Krishna is telling to Naradji now. He's saying, Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam. Satyam eva punah punah vina radhika prasadena mat prasado na vidyate. Krishna speaking. So Krishna is telling Naradji that Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam. Hey Narad, this is the truth. This is the truth. And once again, this is the truth. And Narad says, what is the truth, my dear Lord? He says, no, Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam, Satyam Eva Punah Punah. And then he says, once again, this is the truth. What is the truth, my dear Lord? And Krishna says, Vina Radhika Prasadena. Without pleasing Srimati Radharani, Mat Prasado Na Vidyati. If you haven't pleased Srimati Radharani, you cannot please. So that is the potential of Prabhuji Mataji. All our Shastras are saying, all our Acharyas are saying, Lord Krishna himself has said. But then the point is, how do we understand this? How do we understand this? To understand this, now we get answer in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj says that Shri Chaitanya Prasadena Tad Rupasya Vinirnayam. Yeah. Balo api kurute shastram drishtva vraj vilasi. So he says Shri Chaitanya Prasadena. If we have pleased Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yeah, who has come in the form of a devotee, yeah. So, or you can say any Mahabhagavad, or we can read the books, or we can discuss the Leela of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are various forms, various ways we can remember, we can discuss. Yeah, but Shri Chaitanya Prasadena, what will happen? Yeah, Tad Rupasya Vinirnayam. We can understand the Roop, we can understand the Tattva, we can understand the philosophy And then the qualification for that philosophy, he says qualification is no qualification. Balo api, even a murk balak, even a small child, yeah, balo api kurute shastram, even a fool of the fool person can understand the potency, the tat of Srimati Radharani, and that tat, Prabhuji Mataji, which is described as per Shastra, not just like mundane understanding. So here it is said that as per Shastra Drashtva. Yeah. So all the Viraj Vilasina, so the Leelas of Vrindavan, which are performed by Shri Radha and Krishna, as per their Shastric understanding, as per the Shastric view, the same view a Murak of a Murak, a fool of a fool person can get, how he or she can get, by the mercy of Shri Chaitanya, or by the blessing of a senior Mahabharata. It is also said somewhere, speaking of the mercy can do anything and everything, Prabhuji Mataji. Yeah, you know, as it is said that Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhate girim yat kripatam aham vande paramananda madhavam. By the mercy is so powerful, Prabhuji Mataji, that by the mercy, even a mook person who cannot speak, they will start speaking. A person who doesn't have legs, they'll be able to go on the top of the mountain. So that is the potential of the mercy. So yat kripatam aham vande. So to that merciful Lord, to that Sri Madhav, yeah, who is Paramanand, who is giving, who is all blissful, yeah, I pay my obeisances. Yeah. So that is the point, Prabhuji Mataji. We can understand all these scriptural guidance, all these scriptural revelations, but we can only understand through the mercy of Mahabharata, through the mercy of our acharyas. And here all our acharyas have said, if we pray to Srimati Radharani, now that leads up to our conclusion of today's session. I don't know what is the time. So almost about 10:30 now. I had up to 10:30. So that leads to, so that is why, Prabhuji Mataji, all our acharyas, all our, and I shared with you, Lord Shiva is saying that he himself is praying for the Kripa Kataksh. Yeah, Lord Shiva confirms that Brahmaji is praying. Yeah, Mata Parvati is praying. Mother Saraswati is praying. Lord Indra's wife is praying. Sachi Mata is praying. And all the Vaishnavas, Koti Vishnulok, all the Vaishnavas, they are praying to Srimati Radharani and praying for what? Kripa Kataksh Bhajanam. Just when we will get that merciful glance of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So that is the potency. And then Krishna has himself said that, Vina Radhika prasadena mad prasado na vidyate. Yeah. So it is very important, Prabhuji Mataji, that we understand and we meditate on this, and we stay away from these mundane conversations, like how people come and ask why Krishna is staying with Radha when he did not marry her, and who is Rukmani. So I hope this clarifies. So these are the three, you can say, three forms of the consorts of Lord Krishna, and they all proceed from Srimati Radharani. Yeah? So and then we should always pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, and through that prayers, Prabhuji Mataji, we pray that we are able to worship and glorify Krishna, because our prayers to Krishna can be sent through Srimati Radharani only. She represents that Haladini Shakti. Yeah, Krishnadas Kaviraj again writes, he says that Shri Radhika hoina Krishnera pranaya vikar. So Srimati Radharani, pranaya vikar, is the transformation of love. Radhika hoina Krishnera pranaya vikar. Yeah. Swarup Shakti Haladini Nam Yanar. Yeah. So she is nothing. So she is actually the Swarup Shakti. Swarup is his own potency. Yeah. Swa is in on and Rup is in potency. Yeah. So she is his own Swarup Shakti, Haladini Shakti, Swarup Shakti, Haladini Nam Yanar, whose name is Haladini. And then he says, Haladan Karai Krishnera Anand Aswadana. Yeah? She is the pleasure potency. So by Haladan, it gives Krishna Anand, Aswadan. And then Haladinir Dwara Kare Bhaktera Poshan. by that same Haladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani, what she is doing is Bhaktera Poshan. She is giving energy, or the devotees sustain on that Haladini Shakti. Yeah, and then he says Haladinir Sar Prem, Prem Sar Bhav. Haladinir Sar Prem. So the sum and substance, or if you want to sum, or the conclusion is Prem, is the love. Yeah, is the unadulterated love. Haladinir Sar Prem, Prem Sar Bhav. Yeah? Bhav is, then we develop that mood. Yeah, and then Bhavera Param Kasta, Bhavera Param Kasta, Mahabhavna. Yeah. So the Bhav, Param Kasta of Bhav is Mahabhav. Yeah. And it's called Mahabhav. And Mahabhav Swarupa, now who is Mahabhav Swarupa? Mahabhav Swarupa, Shri Radhika Thakurani. Yeah. Sarva Gun Khani and Krishna Kanta Shiromani. So that Mahabhav Swarupa is Srimati Radharani herself. Yeah. And she is the topmost of lovers, or lovers as in serving. Prabhuji Mata, you understand? She is the topmost serving, consort of Krishna. And through her, she is Mahabhav Swarupa, who does Bhaktera Poshan. Jagan Mohan Krishna, Tanara Mohini. The Krishna can make the whole world, yeah, Mohan, he can put the whole world into illusion. Yeah? But Tanara Mohini, Srimati Radharani can even bewilder Madan Mohan, the Krishna himself. Yeah, Shri Radha Madan Mohan. So she can bewilder, she can moh even Lord Krishna himself. So that's why it is said, Atev Samastera Parathakurani. So that is why she is the topmost. Yeah. Atev Sarva. Yeah. Atev Sarva Kripa. Yeah. Atev Sarva Pujya. So, and then finally Krishna's Kavira says, Atev Sarva Pujya. She is the Pujya. She should be worshipped by all. Atev Sarva Pujya Param Devata. Yeah. Sarva Palika. Sarva Jagatera Mata. Yeah. So that's why Atev, he's saying, Atev, therefore, that Srimati Radharani is Sarva Pujya, is to be worshipped by everyone. And Sarva Devata. Devata literally means somebody who can give you something. So she's Param Devata, yes. Sarva Pujya Param Devata. So she cannot just give these material boons. She can give you Param Prapti, which is the love of Godhead. Supreme Personality of love to the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, she is Param Devata. Sarva Palika. She is the caretaker, Palan, as in look after everyone. And she is also Jagatera Mata. She is the mother of the universe. So, Prabhuji Mata, that is the position of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So today, what we discussed, we discussed about the Shri Krishna Tattva. So we understood that. We haven't gone into the detail like the various expansions, but we just looked at how Shri Krishna is the source of everything. We looked at from various Shastric evidence, what Vedas are saying, what Brahmaji is saying, what Lord Krishna is saying, what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. So we understood that. Then we also looked at that Lord Krishna, how Sat Chitta Anand, those three potencies, which is combined together, they are called Vishuddha Sattva. Once again, we took a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Shiva is saying that Vishuddha Sattva is actually called Vasudev. That's where Lord Krishna appears. That's where Lord Bhagavan is there. And Lord Shiva also is saying, if somebody has any doubt, Lord Shiva has admitted that he is praying to that Bhagavan Vasudev himself. Yeah? So Lord Krishna is supreme. Then we looked at that. And then the next aspect we looked at, from the three potencies of Krishna, the Haladini Shakti, from Haladini Shakti comes from Haladini is Srimati Radharani. Yeah? As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, Swarup Shakti Haladini Nam Yanara. So Srimati Radharani is the Haladini Shakti of Lord Krishna. We also discussed from various aspects how Shri Radha Upanishad is saying, how Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying, how Lord Krishna has told Naradji that Radha and Krishna, they are same. Yeah? Radha Krishna, they are one. They are not different, and we should not differentiate. And people who differentiate, they are not able to be liberated. So that is the position of Srimati Radharani Prabhuji. Yeah? Radha Krishna, ek. So they are one. Yeah? Radha Krishna, aiche, ekai swarup. Yeah? Leela aswadan kare, Leela aswadite dhare doi rup. Once again, in another place, Krishna's Kaviraj is saying that Shri Radha Krishna aiche ek swarup. So they are one swarup. Leela aswadite dhare doi rup. Just that Leela Aswadan. And that Leela Aswadan, Prabhuji Mataji, we looked at, it is not the calm. It is for Krishna's sukh. And through that Leela, it is to teach us. Yeah, because we are seeing how Srimati Radharani is serving Krishna, how the various gopis of Vraja are serving Krishna. So that Leela Aswadan, if you look at it from a mundane perspective, it is a different vision. But the real learning, real lesson for us is, Prabhuji Mataji, that they are truly serving Lord Krishna, how we say ahetuki, apratihrita. So that's how they are serving Krishna. So that is a lesson for us. And that is for Krishna sukha hetu, Krishna se sambandh. So their sambandh to Krishna is only to please Krishna. Very important factor, yeah. So we looked at those various aspects, Prabhuji Mataji, and then we'll just conclude now. So now this is a definition, as I said, about Aradhana. So her worship, Srimati Radharani's worship, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, Puranas call her Radhika. Yeah. So if you had any question, so it comes from word Aradhana. Like I said, Aradhyate, yeah, Radhev Aradhyate Maya. Yeah. So that Srimati Radharani who worships Krishna, or Radharani who is worshipped by Krishna. Yeah. And the name Radha is derived from the root. So that's where I was making that differentiation, which means worship. And the personality who excels in worshipping Krishna is called Radhika, the greatest servitor. So that is the Radha Tatva, Prabhuji Mataji. Yeah, if I made any mistake, I seek your forgiveness. But it was just a humble attempt so that we understand and that most of our questions gets answered. And now we know that as Krishna is the fountainhead of all the incarnations, similarly Srimati Radha is the cause of all these consorts, but she is the topmost. Yeah. And finally, we have just put these two verses from Shri Radha Kripa Kataksh Stava Raj. It is called Stava Raj. Stava is Stuti and Raj is the king of those Stuti. And it is spoken by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. The verse that I discussed during the conversation is from this only. But these two, so today being Radha Astami, Prabhuji Mataji, let's try to develop that mood. With that mood, if we can glorify Srimati Radharani, and we understand, this will help us further understand the position of Srimati Radharani, how all the great personalities are worshipping her. I'll just read the shloka and then I'll read the translation and then we will conclude. Munindra Vrinda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vaktra Pankaj Nikunja Bhuvilasini Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sonu Sangate Kada Karishya Mam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Makheshwari Kriyeshwari Swadeshwari Sureshwari Triveda Bharateshwari Pramana Sara Sansareshwari Rameshwari Shameshwari Pramoda Kananeshwari Brajeshwari Brajadhipe Shri Radhike Namastute Brajeshwari Brajadhipe Shri Radhike Namastute. So the meaning is, O goddess worshipped by the kings of sages, O goddess who removes the sufferings of the three worlds, O goddess whose face is a blossoming lotus, O goddess who enjoy pastimes in the forest, O daughter of Vrishbhanu, O companion of Viraja's prince, when will you cast your merciful sidelong glance upon me? So that is prayer by Lord Shiva. He's telling Mother Parvati. Then Lord Shiva further states, O queen of Vedic sacrifices, O queen of pious activities, O queen of the material world, O queen of the demigods, O queen of Vedic scholarship, O queen of knowledge, O queen of the goddesses of fortune, O Queen of Patience, O Queen of Vrindavan, the forest of happiness, the Queen of Vraja, O Empress of Vraja, O Shri Radhika, obeisance to you. So you see, Prabhuji Mataji, this is prayer offered by Lord Shiva to Radhika, to Mother Radhika. So thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. We will conclude here now. Once again, very kindly appreciate your association. Please forgive me if I made any mistake, and it will be helpful for us. And once again, a very happy Radha Ashtami to all you. May you all get blessing of Srimati Radharani, so that you are all able to serve Shri Krishna wholeheartedly. And with that, Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Shri Gurudev.